From preps to pros and everything in between, it's Southern Middle Tennessee Sports Today. Live from the Lee Company studio. With the Hall of Famer Mo Patton, here's Chris Yow.
Welcome into Southern Middle Tennessee Sports Today, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint. Man, what a day it has been. But it's only getting better. It's only getting better. Mo, how are you? What's going on?
It's been a long day, feels like. I'm drained.
It has, in fact, been a very long day. I will agree with that. I'm kind of feeling like tomorrow is going to be a relief.
I hope so. You know, it could be worse, though, because we could be tired from having to watch Game 7 of the World Series last night.
But we didn't.
We did not have to do that.
We did not.
And I feel pretty good about it.
I don't know that I could have handled it. I mean, I was in bed at like 10.
I wasn't in bed at 10, but I was in bed before 11.
Yeah. It could have been worse. But instead, we were, world champions 2 days ago.
We put things to bed early, figuratively and literally.
That's right. We've got a great show for you. So we're going to talk about a lot of high school football. It is Thursday, and that's what we do. We also have some state championship cross country going on, so we want to make sure to get into that as well today. And we will visit with Brady Henson, who is Columbia Academy's cross country coach. It's a lot of C's.
Well, could be worse. You could be talking about Brady Henson's son, Connor Henson of Columbia Academy cross country. Wait a minute. Connor Henson, Columbia Academy's cross country champion.
That's right.
Another C.
All the C's.
All the C's. We have them all.
Yeah. But we will talk a lot of high school football, and we're going to get into it here. Before we do that, though, we need to give you some results and schedules on the rundown.
This is the Rundown.
Let's do it.
The Thursday Rundown is brought to you by Barry B. Coble with Crest Point Wealth Management. Barry B. Coble with Crest Point Wealth Management offers personalized wealth management strategies for clients based on where you are in your financial journey. Go see Barry at Crest Point Wealth Management at 700 North Main Street in Columbia. Securities offered through registered representatives of Cambridge Investment Research Incorporated, a broker-dealer member, FINRA SIPC. Advisory services offered through Cambridge Investment Research Advisors Incorporated, a registered investment advisor. Crest Point Wealth Management and Cambridge are not affiliated.
In bowling action from earlier this week, on Tuesday, Lawrence County defeated Summit 18-5. On Wednesday, Lawrence County fell over in Savannah to Hardin County 16-7. In cross-country action earlier today at Saunders Ferry Park up in Hendersonville, the Class AAA state championships took place. On the girls' side, Independence's Janie Halterman ran an 18-minute, 38-second flat 5K to finish 5th in the state. Sister Julia ran a 19:08.50 to place 16th. Siegel's Kyra Hayes won the Class AAA girls event with an 18:05.30. Brentwood won the team title with Farragut finishing 2nd and the Lady Eagles 3rd. Columbia Central's Josie Parks ran a 20:14 to finish 61st. Franklin County's Kara McDaniels ran a 20:36 flat to finish 77th out of 206 total runners.
In the Class AAA boys, it was Nate Martinez finishing 43rd for Independence at a 16:51.48. Ravenwood's Miles Raymer wins the event with a 15:10.35, and Hardin Valley won the team title with Siegel coming in 2nd, Brentwood in 3rd. In NHL action last night, Edmonton defeated the Preds 5-2, and the Grizzlies in the NBA edged the Nuggets 108-106.
That snapped a 4-game winning streak for the Preds. Is that right?
It did, in fact.
Okay. In football action tonight at the professional level, well, take professional. We use
Yeah.
that term loosely because the New York Jets will travel to Indianapolis and take on the Colts. That's a 7:20 kickoff on Fox. Collegiately, Fun Belt action. Georgia State goes to Lafayette, takes on the Raging Cajuns of Louisiana. That's a 6:30 kickoff on ESPN.
And tomorrow at Saunders Ferry Park in Hendersonville, we have cross-country action. Division II AA girls at 10 a.m., Division II AA boys at 10:40, 2A girls at 11:40, 2A boys at 12:20, the Class A/AA girls at 1:20, and A/AA boys at 2:10. So that's going to do it for your rundown on Southern Middle Tennessee sports today. Couple of things we need to get to in our top stories that are high school football related. Mr. Football finalists were announced, and at least they didn't get the finalists wrong. That's all I'm saying.
Well, you know,
I don't think they're going to get the winners correct, but at least the finalists are probably pretty close.
You got to start somewhere, I guess. Basically, the only classification we're interested in is 6A. And the semifinalists, there are 5. That will be pared down to 3 finalists. That'll be announced on Tuesday, November 23rd in primetime by Titans head coach Mike Vrabel and the VOT, Mike Keith. So they will announce the 3 finalists on the Tennessee Titans website. Again, that'll be at 7 o'clock on Tuesday, November 23rd. But in 6A, the 5 semifinalists that were announced today are Oakland's Jordan James, Maryville's Carson Jones, Riverdale's Alex Mitchell, and a couple of guys from Summit. You may have heard of them, Destin and Keaton Wade, both brothers, both twins, named semifinalists. So
interesting. No, I mean it's not bad, I don't guess.
James again is a Georgia commit. The Wade brothers are both committed to Kentucky. I'm not sure where or if either Carson Jones or Alex Mitchell are committed. But it will be interesting to see who the 3 finalists out of these 5 are. Any other names catch your eye among these guys?
Not really. I mean, Alex Broom, I think, is an obvious choice there for at least for a semifinalist. Obviously, the kid from Carnes, Deshaun Bishop, I think, no pun intended, should run away with it. I mean,
Ty Simpson in
2A probably, and then you
got Barry Brown from Pearl Cone in 4A.
Yeah, I don't know how good this Gudger kid is from Greenville, but I assume he's got to be pretty good.
Yeah, Jake McNamara from Page.
Yeah,
in 5A as well as Walter Nolan, the lineman up at Powell in Knoxville.
And kicker of the year, Justice Chadwick from Tullahoma. So, I guess there's that. But yeah, so looking forward to hearing.
Hey,
the winners.
look at Division II AAA. Kind of looks like the Heisman because 4 of those 5 semifinalists are quarterbacks, and the one non-quarterback is the returning Mr. Football, Dallin Hayden,
the Ohio
State commit from Christian Brothers. But you got Kenny Minchie from Pope Prep, Levi Moore from Ensworth, Marcel Reed from MBA, and William Riddle of the 2-time defending state champion McCallie Blue Tornado. So
the Blue Tornadoes.
Yeah, interesting.
Yes, it is. Speaking of Division II 3A, everybody goes to the playoffs.
All 12 teams.
In D2 3A. Now, that's a little ridiculous.
It's more than a little.
But we're not the only ones who think that. On the Williamson Herald today, or in the Williamson Herald, there is a commentary from our friend, Joe Williams, who basically says, why don't we just give everybody a trophy at the beginning of the year, then start playing? Because that's basically what we're doing. We're giving out non-football trophies. And I can't say I disagree with him. I don't know why I wasn't here when they moved up to 6A and decided to add that 6th classification. Now, I was in Alabama when they added a 7th, which was weird because they just took 32 teams instead of the normal 60 plus that they have in the others. But I don't quite understand it. I mean, why are we giving out so many trophies, Mo?
You asking me like I know.
Well, what you were at least here when they decided to make that transition,
and I feel like I asked that question. I feel like I asked that question, and I don't feel like I got a satisfactory answer.
Well,
so yeah, Joe's article at WilliamsonHerald.com points out that there are 345 schools playing football across 9 classifications. 3 in Division II, 6 in Division I. 81% of the 81% of the 48 schools in Division II make it to postseason play. 64% of the Division I schools advance to postseason play.
Yeah, that's too many.
So there's that. It's too many in either case, but you're starting from a point of inequity, basically, and this carries forth across all sports. I mean, don't get me into wrestling.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm here. I'm here for the 6 classes. We're giving out 9 trophies, whatever. Okay,
why?
I'm conceding that because you're not putting that genie back in the bottle. But this just goes back to what I proposed last year, and that is the 2 3s play and the 1s get bys, and let's put some meaning into the regular season. Put some meaning into it. If you're gonna have 6 classifications, you're gonna hand out 6 public school trophies. Give me some meaning behind winning my region. Give me some meaning.
Give me a bye for the first round. Let 2 3s play each other. Get rid of 4s.
The 4s are killing me. I mean, almost across the board. They're just not good.
Well, that's fine.
I mean, I
don't have a problem with that.
I mean, there are going to be some Franklins like last year.
As long as you don't mind going and telling Farragut and Stewart's Creek and Warren County and McGavock.
You know what I'm going to tell them? Win more ball games.
And Independence.
Tell them win more ball games. Put some meaning into the regular season. It's watered down. 64% of the teams are making the playoffs. It's not good enough. We're going to come back and talk to Brady Henson. We may continue this conversation later in the show, so stick around. Southern Middle Tennessee Sports Today returns after this. Mid-Tennessee Bone & Joint treats your orthopedic injuries and existing conditions. Our trained physicians will get you back in the game faster. Contact us at 931-381-2663 or www.mtbj.net.
Fast Stop Markets is a full-service, family-owned convenience store chain located in 14 locations throughout Middle and West Tennessee. For those in our listening area, you can find them in Columbia, Centerville, Lawrenceburg, Spring Hill, Dixon, and White Bluff.
Fast Stop partners with wholesale fuel brands like Shell, Marathon, and Exxon, delivering a consistent customer experience that is fast, friendly, and clean. If it's not already, it will soon become your go-to store to shop in town or on the road. Fast Stop Markets is proud to be keeping you moving in Tennessee.
Keep your home as comfortable as possible. If you have any issues with your air conditioner, electrical, or plumbing systems, call Lee Company. Our techs use visual findings and other technology tools to add transparency and clarity. You see what we see, whether we're in a crawl space or on the roof. We're here 24/7, so if you need us, call us. Lee Company. Call 931-548-4448 today or schedule your appointment at leecompany.com. That's leecompany.com.
Hey folks, while we take a quick break from the show, I want to tell you about our friends over at Custom Stone Handlers in downtown Columbia. Ned Rich and his team at Custom Stone Handlers believe in leadership. And outside of the military, our greatest leader building platform is sports. Custom Stone Handlers proudly encourages young people to get in the game. You can contact them today at 931-490-4990 or visit CustomStonehandlers.com. Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint has been the official sports medicine provider for Murray County Schools for more than 40 years. We specialize in orthopedic injuries, and our Ortho Quick walk-in service lets you bypass the ER. Visit us online at www.mtbj.net.
Talking high school sports, here's Mo and Chris.
Welcome back in Southern Middle Tennessee Sports Today, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint. Chris Yao, Mo Patton, JP Plant here with you on this Thursday edition. Man, it doesn't feel like Thursday. I have been so confused all week long on what day it is. Like, I mean, even Tuesday and Wednesday when we have Top 5 Tuesday and Wild and Wacky Wednesday, like, I still had to check the calendar to make sure I was
On the right day.
on the right day. I'm like, doesn't feel like Thursday, man.
Just follow the script, bro.
I guess. I mean, that's all we got. That's how this works. And that just means that cross-country state championships have taken place already today. And Class 3A, as we told you in the rundown, is finished. The remaining classes will duke it out tomorrow. There will not be 9 trophies handed out. Well, I guess there will be, but more than that, but not for first place. And to talk about one of those classifications at least, and
One of the classifications, two of the races.
Of the races, that's correct, will be Columbia Academy cross country coach Brady Henson, who is obviously the father of the reigning and defending champion in his class, Connor Henson. Coach, welcome in. Thanks for joining us.
Hey, guys. Thanks for having me. I really appreciate it.
Coach, obviously, first of all, need to say that this is Coach's Corner, brought to you by From the Heart Cafe over in Chapel Hill. And Renee Williams, Hart, and the gang over there are serving up some of the finest victuals you can find either side of the Duck River.
That's right.
But we've been remiss in not getting over there in quite some time. We need to make that drive. So, but anyway, Coach, I don't know if you ever get over to Chapel Hill, but if you do, From the Heart, if you're going across 99 toward Henry Horton, right after you make the turn right there, make another right almost immediately, and it's right there
in the parking lot.
Yeah, you're in the parking lot. You're in the front door. The burgers are great. The desserts are great. I know y'all are running, so you're probably not doing a whole lot of desserts these days, but give it a shot when you get a chance.
I absolutely will. I just gotta, I pretty much haven't eaten all week, anyways. This week, my nerves are pretty well shot. So sounds like a place to be this next week.
Oh, you're a Braves fan too?
You need to. Yeah. I don't think this has got anything to do with the Braves.
Well, if he is a Braves fan, I don't know how he's handling any of it.
Yeah, it's been a long week.
Right.
Brady, I know y'all ran off to East Tennessee after last year's win. How do you plan to celebrate this time around?
We are just going to stay at home this weekend and celebrate being at home this weekend. We have been on the road every weekend since July 4th weekend.
Oh,
God. I understand that. Like, I mean, I do that too, but
not to that degree.
But not, I mean, at least I'm home most Sundays.
Yeah.
Goodness gracious, that's insane.
That's pretty amazing. So y'all are about ready for this season to be over with then, huh?
Completely. I mean, we've done unofficial visits. We've done official visits. We've had a little bit of an alternate schedule for Connor for the first half of the season because we were on official visits and they didn't work out with where the team was. So, we just have gone nonstop. So there is nobody any more excited about this weekend than me.
That said, Brady, are you concerned with any fatigue factor for Connor going into tomorrow's race?
Not at all. I think we've had the last couple of weeks, actually a couple of weeks since regional. I think Connor was really starting to begin to hit his stride, get his legs under him. Things are starting to kind of die down on the recruiting front. So we got to make some decisions. And I think those decisions have kind of helped reinvigorate Connor a little bit. I think he has something to prove now more than ever. So if you would have asked me that same question at the beginning of the season, I would have probably said yes. But based on everything that I've seen to this point, I think he's ready.
Okay. Ran a 15:46.10 at the region meet about 10 days or so ago up at Saunders Ferry Park. Won the region championship by about 10 seconds. Again, as Chris said, the defending Division 2A state champion in cross country. How do you feel like he reacts tomorrow to having the target on his back?
Well, we really got a big feel of that at the regionals, because a couple of kids were really gunning for him, and the schools were there kind of in force. And I think he reacts just the same as he did, 10 days ago. I think he has really developed a thick skin and been able to, compartmentalize things. And he just really gets locked in. And when you watch him run now, it's just a different kid. And this is just the maturity that, we've had to go through for the last 4 years. He really has worked on just focusing on the task at hand and blocking out everything. And I think he's more than ready for tomorrow.
Coach, how do you feel about your team's opportunity here? Obviously, you've got some solid runners, some upperclassmen who have been here for quite a while. How do you feel like this team is going to perform overall?
Well, I feel like our boys team is going to perform really well, and as well as the girls. So the boys, start with the boys. The boys, finished third. But we were only about 13 or 15 points back between first and second as well. So I think our boys were coming off a pretty tough week with me. I kind of changed some things that week. And I think tomorrow they have a chance to be in the top three. I think there's no reason that they can't. The unfortunate thing about cross country is, you don't have another day. Like when you line up that day, this is it. There is no, well, I had a bad day. There is no, we'll get them next week. So I think they're more prepared than they've ever been. And our girls, they won the region. They're just now hitting their stride really well. They're gelling across the board in personality. And I like their chances of being in the top three as well. We were fifth last year, and I think we have a top three team going into this race, and anything can happen.
You've got a senior leading the charge on the boys' side. You got a freshman pretty much leading your girls' team. Presley Miller finished fourth at the region, running a 20-20-40, and got to run in the postseason last year, which I would imagine probably helped her handle this year's region event and going on. How big has her development and maturity been for you guys this season?
Well, Presley, has really developed. I think last year she learned some really valuable lessons. She was just coming off middle school. She kind of stepped into that high school world there at the regional and state. And had to kind of grow up kind of quick and had to understand that, it's a total different race when you're racing in high school versus when you're racing in middle school. And I think Presley took all of that, and we kind of took all of that and, kind of helped develop her this year slowly but surely. And when she ran at regionals, she really looked like a seasoned veteran. And I attribute a lot of that to being able to experience the regional and state last year. And I do believe it made a big difference this year.
You guys will be running the fifth and sixth races on this course in a 24-hour period tomorrow. It's going to be kind of cool, but what impact, what effect will that have? I don't imagine the course will be as bad under any circumstances as it was last week coming off the rain, but how do you expect this course to run by the time your girls and then your guys get on it?
I think it's going to be a really good course tomorrow. I work 10 minutes from the course, so I've been on the course the last 3 days, and it's really packed in really good right now. It's going to be super fast. And I think the footing is really good right now. And with the cool weather, it's just going to make it that much more faster. And I think we saw that today on the AAA level. We saw some really fast times. I mean, Josie Parks, if I'm not mistaken, had about a 30 or 40-second PR today, in the state race. And it's going to be fast.
When you look around at this field, there are a lot of folks who obviously, earned their way here by finishing individually. Are there any individuals in either the boys or the girls side that you guys are really either looking out for or trying to keep an eye on?
To be honest with you, Chris, no. And the reason being is that at this point, they don't hurt you team wise.
Sure.
So they might get a place in front of you, but they can't score. And what we're looking at with two teams now is where we score across the board.
Gotcha. And that makes a lot of sense. That's why I was curious if you guys were worried about those individuals or not, or if you were really focusing on these team awards. Obviously, you want to have the top finisher. That would be great, but the team award is really important to obviously the entirety of the team, no matter where you run.
Absolutely.
Speaking here on Coach's Corner, presented by From the Heart Cafe over in Chapel Hill, speaking with Brady Henson, the cross-country coach at Columbia Academy. They will be running in the Division 2A girls and boys state championships tomorrow up at Hendersonville. Those will be preceded by the Division 2AA races and followed by the AAA races. On the girls' side, in the AAA race, we'll have Summertown freshman Isabella McDonald. In the boys' race, we'll have Cameron Stovall from Culleoka and Craig Delk from Hampshire. I don't know, Brady, if you've had a chance to see either of those folks run, but what would your expectations be out of them from what you know about AAA going into tomorrow?
So I'm very familiar with Delk at Hampshire, and I think he's going to score really well. I'm very familiar with Cameron Stovall. Cameron is a good friend of the family, and so I've talked to him on a couple of occasions, and I think Cameron's going to do really well. I think what they just have to do, and I think what these kids really have to do tomorrow is they just kind of have to take a deep breath. And I know that sounds, well, that's simple, but they really do. They just need to take a deep breath and kind of take it all in and run with their head and not kind of over their head. When you go to the state championship, you think that, you got to be out there and you got to go. And it's really about paying attention to where you are on the course and setting yourself up for the back half, not so much the front half. And I think they will handle it pretty well. But it's, when you're by yourself and it's the first time, it's very difficult to kind of channel all that in with all your emotions of just being there.
No question there. There's always a little extra pressure when there's a state title on the line. So looking forward to it, you guys. Enjoy it. Have a great race, and we'll be looking forward to seeing those results tomorrow afternoon.
Yeah, I really appreciate you having me on. And a quick shout-out to one of my most favorite human beings in the world, Miles Raymer today. 10th grader, won the state title in AAA. We have Miles and Connor have had a lot of time together and are good friends, and Miles is an incredibly talented and class act kid. And I just wanted to give him a little love and support as well. I was so ecstatic for that kid today. I couldn't even see straight.
Well, that's awesome. That's great. Yes. Shout out to him. I think we did mention him in the rundown.
We
right?
did.
We did. Yeah. See,
we did.
Look at him getting
That's
all the
right.
praise on Southern Middle Tennessee sports today. Brady Henson, thanks so much for joining us today. We appreciate it.
Take care, guys.
That is Coach's Corner, brought to you by From the Heart Cafe over in Chapel Hill. Again, you get to the end of the road, take a right. It's right there on the right. Hey, your anonymous animal today, an axolotl. Axolotl. It is a member of the tiger salamander species. Congratulations.
Thank you.
We'll be back talking about our Fast Stop Game of the Week right after this on Southern Middle Tennessee Sports Today. Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint treats your orthopedic injuries and existing conditions. Our trained physicians will get you back in the game faster. Contact us at 931-381-2663 or www.mtbj.net.
Fast Stop Markets is a full-service, family-owned convenience store chain located in 14 locations throughout Middle and West Tennessee. For those in our listening area, you can find them in Columbia, Centerville, Lawrenceburg, Spring Hill, Dixon, and White Bluff.
Fast Stop partners with wholesale fuel brands like Shell, Marathon, and Exxon, delivering a consistent customer experience that is fast, friendly, and clean. If it's not already, it will soon become your go-to store to shop in town or on the road. Fast Stop Markets is proud to be keeping you moving in Tennessee.
Keep your home as comfortable as possible. If you have any issues with your air conditioner, electrical, or plumbing systems, call Lee Company. Our techs use visual findings and other technology tools to add transparency and clarity. You see what we see, whether we're in a crawl space or on the roof. We're here 24/7, so if you need us, call us. Lee Company. Call 931-548-4448 today or schedule your appointment at leecompany.com. That's leecompany.com.
Hey folks, while we take a quick break from the show, I want to tell you about our friends over at Custom Stone Handlers in downtown Columbia. Ned Rich and his team at Custom Stone Handlers believe in leadership. And outside of the military, our greatest leader building platform is sports. Custom Stone Handlers proudly encourages young people to get in the game. You can contact them today at 931-490-4990 or visit CustomStonehandlers.com. Mid-Tennessee Bone & Joint has been the official sports medicine provider for Murray County Schools for more than 40 years. We specialize in orthopedic injuries, and our Ortho Quick walk-in service lets you bypass the ER. Visit us online at www.mtbj.net.
Covering the teams you care about. It's Southern Middle Tennessee Sports Today. Once again, live from the Lee Company studio with the Hall of Famer Mo Patton. Here's Chris Yao.
Welcome back in Southern Middle Tennessee Sports Today, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone & Joint. Chris Yao, Mo Patton, JP Plant on the controls, and we are coming to you from the Lee Company studio here in Columbia, Tennessee. Just keep turning my light down, light up. I don't even know what's going on. God, this is crazy.
You haven't mentioned yet, we're in a new spot.
We are, in fact, in a...
And so we're still trying to... I'm still trying to figure out the digs. That's why it went dark.
Yeah.
Okay.
You got to be careful. Can't let the screensaver pop up.
Yes, so you can see behind if you're watching now. Behind me.
That's right. It's pretty cool.
It is.
That's that TV there is going to play a lot of roles.
Very versatile.
Yeah, and I can't. I mean, when we get to the situation like we were in Mo, where we had the TV in the studio during the NLDS. That was so fun.
We shouldn't have to worry about that for a while, but yeah, that was fun.
Oh man, we've got a lot to talk about high school football wise, including this week's Fast Stop game of the week. And pair of 6 and 4 teams, a 2-3 matchup in Class 5A, as Dub Bears of the Golden variety travel down from Mount Juliet to take on the Columbia Central Lions. And this is one of those 2-3 matchups that are legitimately could go either way, Mo.
Yeah, I mean, 2-3 matchups are usually quite competitive, and this one feels like it's no exception. You know, first half of the season, you'd have been a little surprised that Mount Juliet was involved in a 2-3 matchup, to be honest, because
yeah, considering they were ranked first in the state.
they were number 1 in the state, coming down from 6A to 5A, got off to a 6-0 start and rolling. I mean, you look at it, they beat Gallatin, Maplewood, Hunters Lane, Warren County, White County, and Wilson Central to open the year. And besides that 14-7 win over Wilson Central, they had scored 34 or more points in each of those games. Lost that heartbreaker at Station Camp 28-27, then turned around and lost 35-0 on TV to cross-county rival Lebanon, and then couldn't get it back. Lost a couple of nail-biters to Hillsborough 13-7 and at Green Hill 25-21. So they come in here on a 4-game skid, and I'm interested to see which Mount Juliet team Central has to deal with Friday night.
Well, we know which quarterback they'll have to deal with because one of them won't be available.
Well, we know which one they won't deal with for sure, yeah. So lost a kid to a collarbone. Yeah, so that kind of gives them one less threat, I guess, at any rate.
Yeah, and one of the things that, we kind of noticed when we started looking through this roster for Mount Juliet is, this is a team that likes to be very, very different in, they don't want to have to be one-dimensional. They want to be very even across the board as far as running and throwing. This quarterback this quarterback is able to throw the ball a lot. I guess he's a different quarterback because he does have the ability to throw it downfield and gives him that stretch the field option. So I'm curious how Columbia Central will defend. How much are they going to put on emphasis on pressuring the quarterback, maybe some blitzing with any outside linebackers coming in from different directions? How do they combat this passing attack?
Here's the thing about Columbia Central defensively. I think their defensive scheme and their defensive talent kind of allows them to get to the quarterback without necessarily having to blitz. I think pressure is kind of a thing that they are able to get with their front four. And should they have to blitz, I think they're talented enough on the back end that they can do so without necessarily impacting, their secondary play. So I think really a passing quarterback, a team that wants to throw the ball, generally speaking, is going to play into Columbia Central's favor from a defensive standpoint.
I tend to agree with you. I really feel like this is one of those games where Columbia Central has to be able to at least maintain the line of scrimmage. I'm not sure they can win it.
I think with the freshman Jaravius Hall up front, with Michael Johnson, with the ends, Malik Smith and Antoine Moore, I like Central up front. I like, Watson Harvey anchoring that linebacker threesome back there. I think the secondary, Adrian Hidalgo, I think the move from receiver to cornerback for him has been one of the biggest moves this coaching staff has made. I mean, because that guy, he is a ball magnet back there. And, Isaiah Cordell and the other kid at safety, whose name I cannot recall, wears an 80s number.
Yeah, he and Watson Harvey are always on tackles, and I can't call it right now
But
either.
I just think defensively, I think Central matches up pretty well with Mount Juliet.
I agree with you. I think, but again, this is a 2-3 matchup that should 100% be, right there at the end of the game. We're looking at it going, all right, anybody could win this. Joseph Whaley.
Yes. I feel like Central playing a home playoff game for the first time in 9 years. I think these guys, the coaching staff, the players, the fan base, the city, I think they recognize the significance of this. And I think Mount Juliet's going to travel well. I think I think these folks are going to turn out for this one. I think it's going to be a great atmosphere for a ball game, and I think the Lions are probably going to respond to that in a positive way.
So let me ask you, what do you feel like this Columbia Central team gathered information-wise on how to defend a very big defensive line like they're going to see against Mount Juliet? Friend, that loss from Green Hill, I mean, that was kind of what Green Hill did to them. They just dominated the line of scrimmage. So is there anything they can take from that to implement in this game?
I think that they really kind of went back and looked at themselves, kind of self-scouted a little bit probably after that Green Hill game, obviously recognized that things did not go their way up front in that ball game. I think their offensive line play has improved exponentially since that game, and so I think they're really going to take what they're hearing and what they're seeing out of Mount Juliet's defensive front kind of as a challenge.
I mean, this is a Columbia Central team who has answered the challenge seemingly every time they needed to.
This is a team that is 6-4. But I think most people around this program, most people that have seen this team play, would tell you that they feel like they should be 9-1. They really do. And, I mean, I saw that Marshall County game in the opener. That was a winnable ball game for them. I think they just dug too much of a hole early.
I think had they been in the wing T the entire game, they win the game.
That could very well be. And they come back and it's a 30-23 game at the end. They lost again at Green Hill 28-14. I think that's the game that they feel like, okay,
we got whipped.
They got us. But, I mean, Page, they battled back from down 35-14 to tie the game before losing that late at Page. 21-14 loss to Giles County. I still don't understand how they lost that ball game.
They don't either.
Yeah. So, I mean, they feel like they should be 9-1. And so if they feel like that, they've got a number 3 seed coming to their place.
Go out and prove it.
If you feel like you should be 9-1, you can't finish up 6-5.
That's right.
So
I 100%. And honestly, I mean, this Central team has all the talent in the world. They have the ability to make a deep run, including beating Page. They can beat Page. They've proven that they, don't get into a 35-7 hole and you might have a shot.
And you mentioned the wing T. The wing T is typically taken to be an equalizer type defense when you don't have the talent to match up with other teams.
That's not the case.
But when you are running the wing T with athletes like Kevin Creasy over at Oakland, and I'm not comparing these guys to those guys. But when you've got Q Martin, Caden McCoy, and Jordan Davis as your primary ball handlers in that offense.
Q Martin, who took a trip to Mississippi State this past week, getting SEC looks in his first year.
In his first year.
That's insane, of varsity football.
Yeah.
That just shows you the level of athleticism that this team had. And Jordan Davis is as good just because he's so he runs like a deer.
Mm-hmm. Literally.
I mean, just looks like he's lollygagging, kind of like Freddie Freeman. Just let those legs go, and it's incredible. And then Caden McCoy, man, even as small as he is, not afraid to bust it between the tackles and put his head in there. So
he runs so hard.
And if he does get through there, if he gets to the second level, watch out because he can take it.
Those three guys have accounted for combined 1,692 rushing yards and 25 touchdowns.
And you never know who it's going to be.
And they don't care who it is.
No, you want to take away 13, that's fine. 7 will take it. Oh, you want to take away 20, that's okay. We'll run the trap all day long. Bet. I mean, and
I'm going to tell you what.
Watch out for Luke Usselton.
Luke Usselton might be ready to burn some folks coming down the stretch. I think this coaching staff has kind of figured out what he can do, throwing the ball, and the passing game, they're playing to his strengths. And I think he's capable of – I think over the regular season, Luke Usselton has been asked not to lose games. You might see Luke Usselton being asked to win some games here over the next little bit, and I think he might be ready to do so.
Yeah. I wouldn't be. It would not surprise me at all. That is your Fast Stop game of the week. It will be Friday night, Lindsey Nelson Stadium and Jim Cartwright Field, where the Golden Bears of Mount Juliet will take on Columbia Central. First time since 2012 that Columbia Central will host a playoff game, so make sure to get out and support the Lions if you are in Columbia. When we come back on the other side of the hour, it will be 5 local games to talk about. So we got plenty more high school football coming your way on Southern Middle Tennessee Sports today. Stick around. Mid-Tennessee Bone & Joint treats your orthopedic injuries and existing conditions. Our trained physicians will get you back in the game faster. Contact us at 931-381-2663 or www.mtbj.net.
Fast Stop Markets is a full-service, family-owned convenience store chain located in 14 locations throughout Middle and West Tennessee. For those in our listening area, you can find them in Columbia, Centerville, Lawrenceburg, Spring Hill, Dixon, and White Bluff.
Fast Stop partners with wholesale fuel brands like Shell, Marathon, and Exxon, delivering a consistent customer experience that is fast, friendly, and clean. If it's not already, it will soon become your go-to store to shop in town or on the road. Fast Stop Markets is proud to be keeping you moving in Tennessee.
Keep your home as comfortable as possible. If you have any issues with your air conditioner, electrical, or plumbing systems, call Lee Company. Our techs use visual findings and other technology tools to add transparency and clarity. You see what we see, whether we're in a crawl space or on the roof. We're here 24/7, so if you need us, call us. Lee Company. Call 931-548-4448 today or schedule your appointment at leecompany.com. That's leecompany.com.
Hey folks, while we take a quick break from the show, I want to tell you about our friends over at Custom Stone Handlers in downtown Columbia. Ned Rich and his team at Custom Stone Handlers believe in leadership. And outside of the military, our greatest leader building platform is sports. Custom Stone Handlers proudly encourages young people to get in the game. You can contact them today at 931-490-4990 or visit CustomStonehandlers.com. Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint has been the official sports medicine provider for Maury County Schools for more than 40 years. We specialize in orthopedic injuries, and our Ortho Quick walk-in service lets you bypass the ER. Visit us online at www.mtbj.net.
From preps to pros and everything in between, it's Southern Middle Tennessee Sports Today. Live from the Lee Company studio. With the Hall of Famer Mo Patton, here's Chris Young.
Welcome back, Southern Middle Tennessee Sports Today, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint. 6 minutes past the top of the hour as we join you here on this Thursday edition of our show, which means it's high school football all day long. Except for that, part where we talked about cross country. You know what we did not do in the first segment, Mo? Hand out some hardware. We should probably do that. So we should probably tell you that the End to Win Life Team of the Week, presented by our friends over at Custom Stone Handlers, go and give it to the Bulldogs of Columbia Academy following their big win over Grace Christian, earning them a home playoff game tomorrow night.
Huge win, 39-35. Huge performance out of
Monte Baldwin.
the freshman.
The Frosh.
He's a freshman.
302 yards, 5 touchdowns.
Goodness gracious.
Yeah, big night for Monte. And our Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint Player of the Week, Mo?
Our Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint Player of the Week is Summit Senior Class 6A Mr. Football semifinalist Keaton Wade. Heck of a performance against Franklin. Blocked a punt and recovered it for a touchdown.
Stripped.
You can't call it a fumble recovery because it wasn't really a fumble. He just took a ball from a Franklin offensive player, took it the other way, and lateraled it to Aiden Bird for another touchdown. Finished up with 6 tackles in the Spartans' 42-7 win at Franklin to end the regular season. And unfortunately, the ad that we have in this week's paper and online is a picture of his twin brother, Destin Wade. We are working to get that remedied, but, you know, they are twins.
They are twins. and when you can't see the number on the jersey, you're just guessing at that point.
Yeah, you're trying to make an educated guess, but, you know, you don't know that one wears a green mouthpiece and one wears a blue one. So
see, we didn't know.
we didn't know.
If only we had paid attention to the mouthpieces, Mo. It's all right. Keaton, congratulations, son. I'm sure we'll be hearing from you more this year.
Yeah, I think.
We'll probably have a chance to remedy that at some point in the
Yeah.
postseason, I have a feeling.
I feel like. Yeah.
All right, let's get into some high school football games, some previews here. Trinity Christian, as I mentioned, is traveling to Columbia Academy. Both teams 3-6 coming into this one, and the winner gets to go to Middle Tennessee Christian. Because, you know, there's only 3 people who or they have buys in
Yeah. Yeah, they have
D2,
they have
so.
buys in D2.
I'm just saying. I'm not saying. I'm just saying.
I'm just saying. Yeah. Both Columbia Academy and Trinity Christian come in with 3-6 records. Columbia Academy's won 3 of their last 4 games now.
And this seems to be a trend over the last 3 or 4 years. We've seen this ever since they moved to D2. I guess what was it 2 years ago?
Yeah. This is their 3rd year in Division II, and yeah,
Their schedule's always front loaded.
it's very front loaded, and you know that really kind of creates a challenge because they kind of have to fight uphill in the second half to get to the playoffs and to try to kind of hold things together psychologically, I would think, because when you're getting off to 0-5s and that kind of thing, it's got to be tough.
I wonder how much, you know, having done that the last couple of years played into this year. Hey guys, we've been here before. We can still make the playoffs. Don't sell the boat yet. We can get there.
Yeah. And, you know, they started the season with the guy that they had identified as their starting quarterback, Connor Rawson, on the sidelines with a broken collarbone. He comes back, and they just kind of start to take off. Again, 127-21 over at Mount Juliet Christian to open October. Took a tough loss at home to Nashville Christian, but then bounced back with that basketball score up at Clarksville Academy, that's 62-60. And then last week's 39-35 win over Grace Christian.
Connor Rawson 3-1 as a starter.
Nice little coincidence there. You know?
I mean, and then of course Monte Baldwin's had 500 rushing yards over the last 2 weeks. That didn't hurt.
Only $4.99.
Okay, sorry.
9 touchdowns though.
9 touchdowns, 499 yards.
9 touchdowns.
Sheesh.
in 2 games.
Feed him. Feed 24.
That's it. That's it. I mean, that seems to be the key. And defensively, Collins Malone, 105 tackles. Dane Bennett, 59. I mean, those 2 linebackers have kind of led the way for the Bulldogs. So
Collins had a touchdown pass called back just before that 44-yard touchdown run from Monte. Yeah, he had a screen pass that he took to the house and was called back for a block in the back that may or may not have been a block in the back. It was borderline. I can see the call, but also it was borderline.
you could see letting it go.
Yeah, it didn't really affect the play, and so. But yeah, this is an offense that has an opportunity to put up some points against this Trinity Christian team. I'll be looking forward to it. You'll be there.
Trinity Christian started 0-4, defeated Tipton Rosemark by a field goal, defeated Farrelly by a touchdown. Fun ball. Lost big against University School of Jackson and Jackson Christian on back-to-back weeks, and then defeated First Assembly Christian 42-3 last week. So they have won 3 of their last 5 coming into this ball game.
Both teams on a roll. Here we go.
Here we go. I don't think Trinity Christian's got a Monte Baldwin, though.
Probably not.
So see how that goes.
I don't think Houston's got a Destin or a Keaton Wade, and they come to Summit on Friday night. You can hear it right here on 101.7 FM. The golden tones of Mike Epley and his partner, Matt Rogers.
Justin Lamb, who
Well, yeah, it could be anybody, I guess.
cast of thousands.
It really is. But Houston comes in taking on Summit, and Summit looking to extend their undefeated season. This isn't Tom Herman's Cougars coming. This is a team that Summit ought to be able to take care of.
Yeah.
You feel like.
Kind of sneaks up on you. Summit's got a 21-game winning streak.
Mm-hmm. Their last loss to Franklin.
The Admirals. Would say kind of avenged, I guess, in pretty solid
Convincing
fashion last week. Yeah.
So, I mean, there's not much to say about this game other than when in doubt, let one handle it. I got a feeling you're going to see a lot more 7 in the backfield in these next 5 weeks.
I maybe not necessarily tomorrow night.
Yeah.
But I think as the games start to mean a little bit more, I think that's probably going to be the case. I think Dominic Hollis has done a fantastic job in the run game for them, 404 rushing yards, averaging 6.4 yards a carry. But Keaton's a little different runner.
He just gives you an extra threat. Even if Dominic's, back there, if you have Keaton, the ability to float him out into the flats or
get him out in the flats or just straight option it. When you've got 1 and 7 coming down on you and you're
you got to pick one
end, or you
no,
you talk about business decisions.
No question there.
Yeah. So and I don't think Brian Coleman minds making you have to make that decision.
No.
So,
if you've got them, you don't leave your horses in the barn.
Smoke them if you got them.
That's right.
Yeah. So this team is going to be fun to watch in the postseason, I think. Oh, and don't forget about Brady Pierce.
Yeah.
Who has 19 catches for 510 yards and 8 touchdowns. In other words, basically every other catch is for a touchdown.
He's going for 6, and he is a deep threat that will force you to stay out of the box, which is a problem when they've got such a good run game. So, and Brandon King also, does a really good job making those. He's the Wes Welker guy. If you need 10, he's going to get you 10 kind of guy. So he's going to run that curl route, and he's not going to drop it. So
he's not going to drop it. He's got fantastic hands.
Give him the rock when you need to get.
He made a catch over at Shelbyville for a touchdown that I don't think he ever got his palms on the ball. It was all fingers.
Yeah, he's a solid player.
Yeah,
he's a solid player. He gets kind of overlooked because of, the deep threat that Brady is, and obviously the Wades. Independence heading to Collierville. The 10-0 Dragons But we've talked about it all year. We just don't know what 10-0 means for Collierville. We just, this is it's a team that played a bunch of teams who didn't play last year. So what does that mean? How good is this team? Is this a team that, Independence has been the 4 seed, 3 years in a row where they've gone to Smyrna, won a couple times. They went to Laverne last year and won.
Mm-hmm.
They weren't the 4 seed last year. They were the 3 seed last year.
But they are used to being on the road.
They're used to being on the road in
this
the first round.
situation. Now, maybe not necessarily getting on a bus and
going
3 hours, but still.
Well, it could be worse. There's one Memphis team that's got to go all the way to Knoxville, play Catholic. So could be worse.
Could be worse.
It's only half the state instead of the whole state.
Collierville hasn't given up more than 2 touchdowns all year, and that was last week in a 45-14 win over Arlington. The only other time they gave up more than 1 score was in a 28-10 win over Houston. They've got 3 shutouts and 5 other games where they have allowed a single touchdown. So, Independence, meanwhile, it's got a 2,500-yard passer and 1 receiver who's got nearly 1,300 yards and another with almost 800. So I don't know if Collierville has seen an offense
This dynamic?
like this. And, oh, yeah, they've also got a junior tight end who's committed to Ohio State. So
Who certainly doesn't get used as much as he probably should. And I don't know that that's necessarily the design. I think that a lot of folks.
maybe folks are trying to take. He's got 39 catches, though.
Yeah. And trust me, they want to give him the ball.
Maybe Ty Lockwood is opening things up for Jack Rummel and River Katina.
So Jack, who runs in the slot a lot, anytime those two are on the same side, it's hard to make a decision for a safety. Who do you cover? Because Ty Lockwood on an outside linebacker, done. Yes, please. And Jack Rummel, it's hard. You can't cover both of them.
Nope.
And if you do, you've got Katina on the other side who's going to be in single coverage and can outrun anybody. So
and you've probably got a wheel route to that same side to
with
Trey
5.
Hartwell.
Yeah, the thing is, the problem that Independence has had this year, and I hate this because I feel like I like the kid, but Joe Cummings hasn't made great decisions when the game is tight.
11 picks.
And which I think probably 5 of those came in the first 2 weeks against Lipscomb and CPA. But
CPA and Lipscomb.
Yeah. But that's kind of been their Achilles heel is he's not been able to make great decisions under pressure. So they've got to keep him upright.
He's made more good ones than bad ones. Again, 2,530 passing yards, 24 touchdowns.
Sure. And if they keep him upright and they give him time, he'll make you pay. But 200 of those yards came on 2 passes that he threw 3 yards each. And Jack Rummel took 80, so there's that. We got more high school football on the other side of the break. Stick around. Southern Middle Tennessee Sports Today returns after this. Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint treats your orthopedic injuries and existing conditions. Our trained physicians will get you back in the game faster. Contact us at 931-381-2663 or www.mtbj.net.
Fast Stop Markets is a full-service, family-owned convenience store chain located in 14 locations throughout Middle and West Tennessee. For those in our listening area, you can find them in Columbia, Centerville, Lawrenceburg, Spring Hill, Dixon, and White Bluff.
Fast Stop partners with wholesale fuel brands like Shell, Marathon, and Exxon, delivering a consistent customer experience that is fast, friendly, and clean. If it's not already, it will soon become your go-to store to shop in town or on the road. Fast Stop Markets is proud to be keeping you moving in Tennessee.
Keep your home as comfortable as possible. If you have any issues with your air conditioner, electrical, or plumbing systems, call Lee Company. Our techs use visual findings and other technology tools to add transparency and clarity. You see what we see, whether we're in a crawl space or on the roof. We're here 24/7, so if you need us, call us. Lee Company. Call 931-548-4448 today or schedule your appointment at leecompany.com. That's leecompany.com.
Hey folks, while we take a quick break from the show, I want to tell you about our friends over at Custom Stone Handlers in downtown Columbia. Ned Rich and his team at Custom Stone Handlers believe in leadership. And outside of the military, our greatest leader building platform is sports. Custom Stone Handlers proudly encourages young people to get in the game. You can contact them today at 931-490-4990 or visit CustomStonehandlers.com. Mid-Tennessee Bone & Joint has been the official sports medicine provider for Maury County Schools for more than 40 years. We specialize in orthopedic injuries, and our Ortho Quick walk-in service lets you bypass the ER. Visit us online at www.mtbj.net.
Covering the teams you care about. It's Southern Middle Tennessee Sports Today. Once again, live from the Lee Company studio with the Hall of Famer Mo Patton. Here's Chris Yao.
Welcome back in Southern Middle Tennessee Sports Today, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone & Joint, continuing to get you ready for high school football tomorrow night. I think we've probably got some games. I know there's at least one game tonight, isn't there, JP? You said something.
There is a game tonight.
And we
Jackson
were
County and somebody maybe?
Yeah, we were asking why in the world are people playing on Thursday night, but there is Cumberland County and Sequoia, Copper Basin, Gordonsville.
Copper Basin, Gordonsville. That was the one that I saw. Oof. And I don't know what the explanation is because I don't think there's supposed to be any weather.
Cumberland County and Sequoia are playing in a, quote, bowl.
Oh, so
Sequoia is 0-9. That's what on CoachT.com it is listed as a bowl. I don't know what bowl it is, but it's Sequoia's either going to
an idea. But
I'm done. We got a flushing noise. Oh, man.
There used to be a requirement back when they had bowls. You had to win 6 games or more to qualify. But I would think at this point any team that wins 6 games is
in the playoffs.
On the playoffs, yeah. So
that's interesting.
Goodness gracious, 0-9. Here's the thing. If I'm 0-9, I'm not going to a bowl
I'll tell you
and,
what,
and run the risk of going 0-10.
Well, I mean,
I'm sure they're not looking at it like that. We got a chance to get a win. Yeah, you also got a chance to get a loss. Shoot.
well, we got 9 of them already. What's that matter?
Yeah. Well, I guess. Man.
So here's my question: is where is Sequoia?
Sequoia is in Madisonville, Tennessee.
That helps me.
Well, it's over east.
Can you give me any type of general vicinity? Where is Madison?
In all actuality, no, I cannot.
All right, let's look up Madisonville, Tennessee. I need to find this because my question was, is Cumberland County and Madisonville like two teams that would normally just play each other, right?
I don't believe so, because Cumberland County is Crossville.
Right.
Okay, Madisonville, Monroe County. It's along 75, I believe.
Oh.
So it's not way far.
Before I found the job in Spring Hill, I actually there was a newspaper there who was looking for someone to do what I do. And then I realized where it was, and I was like, no.
I know.
I'm not even going to call these folks.
Madisonville, that's where Hiwassee College is or was.
Gotcha. Well, yeah, I just, there is a game tonight, and apparently it's Cumberland County, Sequoia, and then Copper Basin, Gordonsville will play in the Class 1A state playoff first round.
Correct.
Copper Basin, 2 wins on the year. One of them was the one they needed, though, over Lookout Valley.
There you go.
It ain't how many, it's who.
It's who.
Every time.
Gordonsville, meanwhile.
Pretty darn good.
Yeah, they beat somebody last week.
Clay County?
Yeah, for the region championship.
They only lost to Trousdale, and that was a 4-pointer.
Well, and Gordonsville is 1A, Trousdale is 2A. That's a big-time rivalry between those two.
That was one of our fabled 4 on TriStar Friday Night Live Countdown a couple
Clay
weeks ago.
County was ranked last week, and Gordonsville beat them. So maybe Copper Basin just wanted to go on and get it over with.
Maybe they wanted to go see somebody else play tomorrow night. Better than forfeiting like some teams.
Hello.
Anyway. Well, Jinx, show me a Coke. Let's talk about Class 2A for a moment, Mo, as East Hickman, 7-2, travels to Summertown, 7-2, for matter of fact, both these teams, I guess they're both 8-2 if you count their both forfeit wins over Zion Christian. Both of them were supposed to play the Eagles, and
East Hickman was supposed to play Zion as well?
oh yeah, they played them last year, remember? So
that's right.
Yeah, they were in fact supposed to play Zion. So both these teams come in 7-2, and Summertown hosting a playoff game for the first time in school history.
If you're into comparing scores,
I am.
Summertown defeated Richland in week 3, 15-10. East Hickman defeated Richland 42-14 2 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
Summertown defeated Mount Pleasant 35-7 on October 15th. East Hickman beat Mount Pleasant 35-21 in the season opener. So
that doesn't really help us, does it?
Doesn't. It does not tell us a whole
none
lot.
of that really helps us a whole lot.
None of that does a whole lot for us, really.
Summertown hasn't lost since that Forest game, and honestly, going into that, I really thought Summertown had a chance to win that ball game. I don't know what was going on, what happened over there, but I don't think that 33-7 is at all indicative of how good this team is.
What really has caught my eye about this Summertown team is their defense. I mean,
of late, it's been really, really good.
Yeah. And they held Cascade to 2 touchdowns. And they had allowed just 13 points in the 3 games before that. 6 of those to Lewis County in a 7-6 win. So,
I mean, East Hickman runs the wing tee as well, and they run it really well. They do a great job with it. So, how does Summertown combat that?
Well, I think the fact that they've played Richland, who runs some wing tee, Mount Pleasant, Lewis County, Cascade.
They beat Lewis County last week. The wing tee god, and their coach.
Their coach's coach
is a wing tee.
Yeah.
I mean, he played in it. He's coached in it for the last however long.
Yeah.
I mean,
so I feel like they've seen enough wing tee that they're not necessarily going to be running around, oh my God, what do we do against this? They're comfortable. They're comfortable defending that, I think. So
yeah, I mean, their 2 losses on the year at Lawrence County in the season opener, 4-point loss, which again they run the ball a lot too.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of what they do. And then Forest really runs the football. They're also a semi-wing tee.
Mm-hmm.
They do things a little differently, but they run the ball quite a bit. So this is not something that they're going to be. Summertown is going to be unable to
or uncomfortable.
Yeah,
with
defending.
It's not like they've spent a week getting ready for something that they've not seen all year.
Sure, they understand. So I'm interested in this game. I think this is one of the more competitive games that we will see, for sure. I certainly don't think their Lawrence County counterparts game is going to be much as competitive.
Yeah. No. East Hickman has scored 35 or more points in each of its 7 victories.
Oh, they're good. There's no question there.
So,
I mean, their last loss was a 6-pointer to Decatur County Riverside, who absolutely throttled
Lewis
County last week.
42-13.
So
they also lost to Lewis County 44-13,
which is
in week
weird, right?
3. Yeah.
I'm wondering if something happened to Lewis County, if maybe they lost somebody that they
Blake Carroll, their Mr. Football, who they thought their Mr. Football candidate, apparently was not a semifinalist. But I think he got a little banged up down the stretch.
Summertown? Or
for
before that?
Lewis County. Yeah. So,
well, nonetheless, Riverside got the win last week, and now they host Loretto on a Friday night. And Loretto in the playoffs by virtue of their only region win in week 11 over Richland last week. And
timing is everything, right?
Timing is everything. It ain't how many it's who and all of that. It is how many, though, in their case, because they had to have 4 to win the tiebreaker. But this is a team that has been playing really well as of late. Even their loss to Cascade was 18-6, and it was a one-possession game for almost the entirety of the game. Either way, I think Loretto scored first. But, they beat Moore County 21-13. They beat Richland last week 23-13. Lost to Cascade 18-6. They only lost to Lewis County by a point.
Yeah.
I mean, this team has kind of been up and down, but right now they're up.
They lost to Forest 13-7 in Chapel Hill.
Yeah. I mean, this is a good football team.
They lost to Lawrence County 45-38.
Had that game won. Lost
to Mount Pleasant on that Saturday 17-7. So, I mean, they played a lot of folks.
I'm putting an asterisk by that one, though.
They played a lot of folks close and been without Caden Porter for pretty much the second half of the season. Injured an ankle in that Pegasus Cup loss to Summertown, and he's not been 100% since then. But
would love to know if he's going to be playing Friday night, because that would certainly give them
He saw limited action against Richland. So
I guess that gives you some hope. I mean, I feel like that's a guy who's not going to let his team play without him if he can in the playoffs, right?
Yeah, but I mean, if he's out there and he's able to go at all, then that gives them another threat to go with Case Tucker, who in a secondary role in the ground game has rushed for 630 yards and 6 touchdowns. So, you know, they've got some threats, but
Riverside's good.
yeah, they face a tall task going across the river and taking on a Riverside team whose only loss was to 1A Power Huntington back in week 4. And since then, Riverside's won their last 6, including last week's win over Lewis County. Their closest game was that 20-14 game against East Hickman. Everybody else they've pretty well blistered. So
9-1.
tough sledding for the Mustangs.
No question. Little surprised by last week's Franklin County Nolensville score. Really thought Franklin County had, and maybe it's our fault. Maybe we gave them too much confidence. But
I don't think we gave them any confidence, but
the Rebels now will be the 4 seed, and they get the unfortunate trip up to Mount Juliet, where they play Green Hill. And this Green Hill team is good. I mean, up front, they are just fantastic.
yeah, I'm afraid this may not be a fun trip for the Rebels.
I wouldn't disagree. I mean, it's certainly would have felt better maybe playing Wilson Central rather than Green Hill, but I mean, truth of the matter is you're going to have to beat the best teams eventually. Green Hill 9-1.
9-1 and have won their last 9 after losing to Siegel 29-21 in their opener. So
Green Hill is very good. I mean, this is a team that we didn't realize how good they were when Central went up there.
Mhm.
I think halfway through that game, you realize, man, this team has got some hosses up front. They're going to line up. They're going to run it down your throat and dare you to stop them. And I don't know how you do. I don't know how you stop them.
6 of Green Hill's 9 wins are over playoff-bound teams. So, I mean, I say that to say they've been tested.
And this is not a team that has, just scraped by either.
No.
I mean, Wilson Central by 10. It's pretty solid. Obviously, the 1 point win against Hillsboro, they beat Columbia by a couple touchdowns. Hunters Lane 41-7. Station Camp, who is the number 2 team in the region,
Beat them 48-0.
48-0.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Franklin County had a 5-game win streak snap with that Nolensville loss last week. So.
Yep. That's going to do it. When we come back, we're going to tell you who's going to win on our pick'em. Southern Middle Tennessee Sports Day returns after this. Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint treats your orthopedic injuries and existing conditions. Our trained physicians will get you back in the game faster. Contact us at 931-381-2663 or www.mtbj.net.
Fast Stop Markets is a full-service, family-owned convenience store chain located in 14 locations throughout Middle and West Tennessee. For those in our listening area, you can find them in Columbia, Centerville, Lawrenceburg, Spring Hill, Dixon, and White Bluff.
Fast Stop partners with wholesale fuel brands like Shell, Marathon, and Exxon, delivering a consistent customer experience that is fast, friendly, and clean. If it's not already, it will soon become your go-to store to shop in town or on the road. Fast Stop Markets is proud to be keeping you moving in Tennessee.
Keep your home as comfortable as possible. If you have any issues with your air conditioner, electrical, or plumbing systems, call Lee Company. Our techs use visual findings and other technology tools to add transparency and clarity. You see what we see, whether we're in a crawl space or on the roof. We're here 24/7, so if you need us, call us. Lee Company. Call 931-548-4448 today or schedule your appointment at leecompany.com. That's leecompany.com.
Hey folks, while we take a quick break from the show, I want to tell you about our friends over at Custom Stone Handlers in downtown Columbia. Ned Rich and his team at Custom Stone Handlers believe in leadership. And outside of the military, our greatest leader building platform is sports. Custom Stone Handlers proudly encourages young people to get in the game. You can contact them today at 931-490-4990 or visit CustomStonehandlers.com. Mid-Tennessee Bone & Joint has been the official sports medicine provider for Maury County Schools for more than 40 years. We specialize in orthopedic injuries, and our Ortho Quick walk-in service lets you bypass the ER. Visit us online at www.mtbj.net.
The sports talk show you've always wanted. It's Southern Middle Tennessee Sports Today. From preps to pros. Live from the Lee Company studio. With the Hall of Famer Mo Patton, here's Chris Yao.
Mo, bad news.
Talk to me.
ESPN Classic is shutting down.
I didn't realize ESPN Classic was still in operation.
Here, the bad part is, like, I used to love ESPN Classic, but now you've got the SEC Network who is playing classic games, and you've got, they're.
And you've got 30 for 30s, and you've got all that. Yeah.
You've got ESPN Plus. You've got all kinds of things that you can just, it's not no reason to have a whole station
of classics.
I mean, anyway, JP was asking about us coming tomorrow and what time we were going to do our show, and I thought, I got something to do at 11 o'clock tomorrow. I'll be watching the Braves parade. I won't be there, but I'll be in spirit.
Right.
I wish I
Where
would.
is that?
It's a good thing we have a monitor.
Right. It is downtown.
I said, where is it airing?
Oh,
where can it be
Bally.
watched? Oh, okay.
Yeah, they'll have it on Bally.
I have seen on Twitter that people were complaining about Ticketmaster in terms of trying to purchase tickets. So I guess the parade is going to where is the parade going to go? Because the Atlanta Braves do not reside in Atlanta.
Well, it's going to the stadium.
From where?
Well, so there's a whole street right there that's seldom used.
Yeah.
That goes from some office buildings over the interstate into the parking area and then into the Battery. So I guess they're just going to run that. I saw it, but I don't have it.
Okay, so the parade for the Atlanta Braves ain't actually going to be in Atlanta then.
Well, they're not the Atlanta Braves anyway.
Well, they are. That's the name of the team, right?
Okay, but they still play in Marietta. Did you see that video where the guy was like, he said, I'm going down Turner Field to watch the Braves. He said, they don't play at Turner Field no more. He goes, what you mean they don't play at Turner Field? He said, they in Cobb County, bro. He said, Cobb, you tell me the Atlanta Braves ain't even the Atlanta Braves no more?
Exactly, bro.
I said, yeah.
Exactly.
It
But
was
no,
so funny.
So I saw people trying to buy tickets via Ticketmaster and having issues because Ticketmaster. What are they buying tickets to? Is it gonna?
They're free tickets,
They're free tickets.
but you have to have a ticket to be into the Battery because they're only letting so many people in, and so they gave A-list ticket members
Tickets.
the option to buy it at like 10:30, and then they had somebody else at 11, and then tickets went on sale at 1:30 today.
The free tickets went on sale at 11.
Well, the free tickets went up for grabs, and there are people selling them for high dollar on the internet.
That's unfortunate that they had to involve Ticketmaster. We don't have any contracts or any advertising with Ticketmaster.
Not yet.
Okay. Well, we
We
won't.
probably won't because
Yeah.
No, I don't see that happening.
it will. The parade coverage will begin at 10:30 tomorrow, 30 minutes prior to that parade start.
Is that 10:30 our time?
Our
here?
time.
Okay.
Parade route will begin at the corner of Marietta Street Northwest and Peachtree Street.
Of course, got to have a
Because-
peach tree.
I mean, well, there's 37.
how hard is it to find a Peachtree Street?
Throw a rock.
Yeah.
And then it will travel up north, up Peachtree to 10th Street, and then the second phase. I guess they are going to be in Atlanta because the second phase of the parade will continue through Cobb County on Cobb Parkway, beginning at the corner of Riverwood Parkway, culminating at the Circle 75 Parkway. So they may actually have a small parade in both.
So
But it's going to end.
downtown and then hit the interstate.
Yeah,
I can't see them on the interstate.
I mean, because
Pause the parade and travel the interstate.
what they have is what I saw was a map that showed some solid lines that said this is parade route and then some dotted lines that said travel route. So I don't know where to go and look to see the exact, where are they going to be. Here it is.
So I'm looking at 11alive.com, and it says route of parade. There was a question about if the parade would be held in Atlanta or in Cobb County. The answer, both.
There you go. Yeah.
You said, the parade route will begin in Atlanta at the corner of Marietta and Peachtree, travel north to Peachtree and 10th. Parade will then travel toward Cobb County on Cobb Parkway, which I guess starts in Atlanta.
It does.
Okay. And so yeah.
And then it's going to take its way all the way to Riverwood Parkway and then down Cobb Parkway across the interstate to Truist Park.
So what's the difference in parade route and travel only? I mean,
I don't think you can really parade on Cobb Parkway. I think it's a pretty heavily traveled area.
Yeah, so they're going to have a parade route, stop it, and then
Are they going to put everybody
Transport?
like in a
Well,
car?
I mean, if people are still lining Cobb Parkway and watching the folks go by,
I don't think they're going to be like in floats though. I think they're going to get into like a bus.
so they're going to get off of whatever they're on.
I think so. That would make that's the only sense that it makes.
That's interesting.
It's certainly interesting.
Post parade celebration and concert
Concert. Who's
featuring
playing?
Atlanta natives and Grammy Award winning artists, Ludacris and Big Boy. Articus.
Articus.
Yeah.
Hey,
Luda.
At least they picked good artists. Could have been worse. I'm just saying. But anyway, we got to get to some high school football pick'em.
Oh, wow. Metro Atlanta schools have closed.
Cobb County did too, so
Yeah.
that's cool. Good for them.
Good for them.
Let everybody enjoy this.
Without worrying about cutting class. Go ahead.
We wasn't finna be at school, no way.
Right?
No way I would have been to school.
We wasn't coming.
Zero chance.
Yeah.
Let's talk. Let's make some picks, Mo. We've got 7 games here that we need to prognosticate, which you have already done, all but one. And we'll start with that one.
Let's do.
Franklin County at Green Hill. I just don't see the Rebels finding a way to win this one.
This one shouldn't take long. No, Green Hill.
Loretto going to Riverside, same thing. I can't imagine that Loretto is going to have much for Riverside.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, that Loretto was able to battle into the playoffs, and this is
Here's
their
your prize.
reward.
Congratulations.
Yeah. This will be a tough one for the Mustangs. I don't think they get it done here.
East Hickman at Summertown. Both teams 7-2 coming in. This is a 2-3 matchup. Summertown the 2, East Hickman the 3. Should be a good ball game.
I think so. Summertown really won me over with that win over Lewis County, and maybe Lewis County isn't as good as I think they are. I don't know, but I'm taking the Summertown Eagles over the East Hickman Eagles in this one.
Well, I certainly like the Royal Blue team. The Royal Blue Eagles in this one, solid. Good pick. Good pick. I have picked against East Hickman twice this year, Mo. I ain't doing it again.
I understand.
They are my
Your kryptonite, huh?
well, they are my Wisconsin or Iowa.
Or Iowa, yeah.
So there you go.
Yeah.
Independence at Collierville. Independence 4-6 at the undefeated Collierville Dragons. This again. I've seen Independence in this situation before. I've seen them twice in this situation. And I've seen them go and win this game. They've been battle tested, but they've also lost those games pretty handily. In other years, they were really close. I think Collierville gets the win, but I think it's real close. I think this is a touchdown or less game.
I think Independence gets the win, and I think it's a touchdown or less game.
Well,
I just
it wouldn't surprise me.
I just feel like I don't think Collierville has been pushed for 4 quarters like I feel like Independence can push them. And Indy's ability to stretch the field and run the ball, I just don't know that Collierville has seen anything like what Independence brings offensively. I'm taking the Eagles.
All right. Houston at Summit. This shouldn't take long.
It won't take long.
Sparty.
Yeah.
Oh, Sparty.
I mean, Summit's got 2 Mr. Football semifinalists, and
Houston
Houston
don't.
has none. So there we
Houston
go.
ain't got any.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Nary a one.
Again, this ain't Tom Herman's Cougars coming to town. So,
Yeah.
all right. Trinity Christian at Columbia Academy. Another should be a really good ball game. Monte Baldwin might have something to say about that. though.
Columbia Academy's got Monte Baldwin, and Trinity Christian doesn't.
They don't.
I'm taking the Bulldogs at home in this one.
I'm with you on that. I think the ability of Columbia Academy's offense to also be productive in the passing game, though, really makes them a threat.
Mhm.
So, got the Bulldogs in this one. And finally, our fast stop game of the week. Mount Juliet 6-4 at Columbia Central 6-4. This one really, really intriguing.
I don't know what Mount Juliet's mindset is coming into this ball game on a 4-game losing streak, regardless of how they got there. Again, they lost their last 2 games by a total of 11 points. 10 points. 13-7 to Hillsborough, 25-21 to Green Hill.
And
But-
may have gotten screwed in that last one.
Yeah, well,
Green Hill's onside kick recovery was awfully close to 9 yards, maybe a lot closer to 9 than it was 10. But hey, we're not the officials.
no, we're not. Much if you've tried to be.
Yeah.
I really, and I hope I don't regret this, I like Central in this ball game.
I'm with you. I picked Central in the Main Street Preps Pick'em, and I was the second person to make my picks so that I could avoid trying to pick against Brady. But yeah, I like Central in this one, and I think that it's just because they're going to do some things that Mount Juliet hasn't seen from that big, tough, kind of Big Ten style offense region.
Mm-hmm.
Columbia Central's got something for them they ain't seen yet, and that's what I got. So I'm going with the Lions to get their first playoff win since last year.
First playoff win since last year. First
First-
home playoff win since 2012,
Since 2012. So
when they rolled all the way to the state finals, by the way.
there you go. All right, that's going to do it for Southern Middle Tennessee Sports Today. Come back tomorrow. We've got pro football previews, we've got college football previews, and so much more. We appreciate you guys hanging out with us here in Columbia, coming to you from the Lee Company studio on the Front Porch Sports headquarters of WKOM 1017 FM. For those of you on WZYXradio.net and across the world on YouTube, watching us on Facebook and Twitter, we appreciate you guys. It's going to be a fun week of high school football. For Mo Patton and JP Plant, I'm Chris Yao saying have a great day, folks, and stay cool, Columbia.